Alright, I hope this is working. Hi everyone, this is Sana and I've posted a poll on my Instagram asking you guys if you wanted to see a sketchbook tour. This is when I show you whatever I have in my sketchbook. So I thought it would be better if I make it a YouTube video. It would be more efficient and more suitable for me anyway. Starting off, this is when I was still watching Boku no Hero Academia. I think the lighting's shit, but okay. Here's when I was still watching My Hero Academia, and in the manga, that is, not just the anime. And I got into a point where I just was in love with the bird character, Tokoyami. He's actually my favorite after Endeavor. And then there is a bunch of All Might and a Midoriya. I'm going to be a hero. Then, so you see here, I was practicing dog anatomy because fun fact is I started my entire drawing thing doodling dogs. Like, this is how I started to draw. This is how I got into drawing in the first place. I was drawing dogs and wolves and stuff like that. So like, this is kind of my attempt at trying to draw proper dog anatomy, because it's actually very, very cool, the dog anatomy and stuff. Now this is really messy, but I don't know if you can see it, but this is like a human muscle study, because now the legs, I wasn't really focusing on the legs. I was more focused on the abdomen area and the chest area and the arms, because this is what I like to draw the most. These are the muscles that I like to draw, and even the back. This is trapezius, I guess, or something. This is what I like to draw. The muscles of the back, you know, the trunk mainly, not the legs. I'm not into legs. And then I also tried to, for some reason, I tried to draw skulls. Although I like this skull. This skull is so good. But you can see, because of the pencil. Yeah, look at that. Because of the pencil, it got really messy. Well, it's because I've been seeing a lot of artists start studying human anatomy using both like skeleton and muscles. So that was what I was trying to achieve. More dog anatomy. I think I got into a point where I got so good at dog anatomy in here, especially. And this one I like it. I like it also because the anatomy was great and the details were great. And then this is my OC Dobrik, and he's originally a dog character, so this is him. But recently I've been getting into more human anatomy and stuff, so I was like, why not turn it into human? Why not turn Dobrik into human? So here is Dobrik in human form. And he has this stem. This is inspired by my favorite Pokemon. It was a Pangoro. It was a dark fighting type Pokemon, and it always had a stem in its mouth. So this is inspired by it. This is a comic for Pokemon about the main character and one of the villain grunts. I think it's called Team Skull Grunt. So that's another comic. I think I really fucked up the background. I remember that I was not interested in drawing the proper background for it. I just wanted to get the pose right. I just wanted to show that he's super excited, but like, I don't know if it worked or not. My favorite is the guy walking with his Charmander and they're looking at him. Weirded out. Yes, this is also my favorite. A lot of people also liked the comic about dating a Team Skull Grunt. It's about MC and the Team Skull Grunt, as I said, the villain character. And this is the starter Pokemon, Incineroar. A lot of people actually hate Incineroar, but you know what? I stand. Yeah, but as I said, a lot of people liked the drawings that I did for them, especially the idea of MC dating one of the villainous characters. So I kept doodling stuff and I kept making stuff, and people actually liked it. This is when I first tried to move away from human anatomy and become interested in art, in nature. I sound like a hippie, but yeah, nature basically. but I was still not into painting. I love inking, if you can tell already. I love inking, and I love to have a lot of black ink involved. This is another sort of comic where I supposedly reveal how his hair looks like, because in all of the doodles that I've done for him, he always wears the cap. And this is when I first got into watercolor. It looks like acrylic, but it's actually watercolor, or it's maybe the cheap brand that I'm using. This one I think was good. That was a good start. This was supposed to be grass. This was supposed to be mountains in the night, but I screwed it up. But you can tell that I was new to the whole thing. I think this also worked because of the, I don't know, how do you call this? There isn't a particular shape, so that's why it worked with me. But when I tried this bird, the wing right here looked kind of awkward, looked weird. I didn't really get the concept that watercolors should be used with water, so I kept mixing the watercolors and just applying them with little to no water. So this is why they look so much like acrylic, because I did not use water with them. I was basically new to the whole painting thing. I do not like colors. I'm very bad at them, so I tried to avoid. That is one awkward looking horse, but okay. This was also my first attempt at snow. I think I nailed it. It was good. It was good. This is my favorite because I admire Greek statues. You have no idea. I love Greek statues and I love the details that go into them. So I tried making something like that. I think I nailed it. But this tree right here, kind of, you know, it did not need the lines. I don't know. Again, more sketches. I was going through some stuff. And Steven Universe helped, apparently. Here Comes a Thought, the song. But yeah, I was going through a lot of stuff back then. This is like vent art, if you can see. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on back then. But yeah, drawing helps. This is, I think this is my favorite so far. Because although this is watercolor, but then again, I did not get the concept that water should be used with them. I just thought that, you know, just put the paste in and you're ready to go. So this is why they look a lot like acrylic. And I suffered so much with the details because I did not have a wide variety or wide sizes of the brush, so I had to use the brush very carefully. And I think it's good. I like the shading. It's great. I think I did a great job. I'm proud of it. But you know, it could have gone better, especially with the helmet detail in here. More sketches. My alien OC Canis. I think you can know a bit about him in my Instagram highlight oaks. This is him as a kid. This is one of my superhero oaks. He looks like a furry, but I mean, this is for a show. It's complicated, but this is for a show. This is how he's supposed to look like. He's a superhero. Anyway, yeah, more of the superhero kind of guy. I like this pose. And more of the alien thing, and I like the butt. Now, I was a lot into aliens. Like, first I went from dogs into humans and now into aliens, and I love designing aliens. I think this is my favorite design. Maybe after another design I'm going to show you later, but like, this is my favorite design. His name is Chief. He's the cook in the pirate crew thing, and he has a very long ears, very hairy, very hairy fella. He has a lot of tattoos, but I couldn't draw them. I'm not a really good tattooist, quote unquote. I do not know how to draw tattoos or something, so I just like settled for a blank, you know, tattoo-less Chief for now. And I started comparing his size to normal human size. So this is a normal human adult, and he would be, of course, a lot larger. I really like the bear sort of pose that he has 4 legs. He's kind of chubby, but I mean, I don't know why every time I think of a chef, he has to be chubby. There's more doodles over here. I love my alien kids. This is another alien. He's a cyber sort of alien, so he has a lot of robot parts into his body, but I really like the details. I think this one's good. And then this is Chief trying to force Canis into eating vegetables. Canis is not really a big fan of vegetables, so he's like, just eat the goddamn broccoli. Alright, moving on. Yet another try with the watercolors. I think this time I understood the concept maybe a little bit, but still it's very rough, and you can see that I do not like the color to fade or become thinner, so I keep adding more color and less water because I want it to be consistent, much like the digital colors. But I think this one's good. This is like an older Canis with a small little crocodile on his back. I like the little scales. I think those were good, and I think the sun, you know, the background was also very good. Moving on, this is my Skyrim character. I can't remember what his name was, but he was a red guard, and he was sort of like a pirate sort of guy with like two-handed weapon, and I really liked him. I played with him in Skyrim as this character for a very long time. This is Zach Storm Doodles. It's from a show. Another Zach Storm, but this time I imagined him becoming a lot older, and a lot of people actually liked it. They were like, yeah, cool, this is a good design for Zach Storm when he grows up. More doodles for aliens. Canis just found the booty, and there's apparently someone he's getting into a fight. I don't know what the hell he said. Hello Space Candy, I don't know. I think I wanted to add a musician sort of alien to the crew, and I wanted him to be crocodile based, so like a crocodile based alien. And I don't know, I did not settle for any of these designs that you're seeing right now. They were not very cool, I guess, so I did not really use them. More alien stuff, but this time it's inspired by Steven Universe. This is gosh, I forgot his name. What was his name? Shit, I forgot. Owen. Yeah, Owen. His name is Owen, and this is like a fusion sort of alien. He has 4 arms, and he's considered Owen, you know, he's seen as Owen's big bro, and he keeps protecting himself. Yeah, things get a lot interesting when you have an alien brother, so there's that. Alright, here's another OC. I was coming into the again, alien human sort of ideas. She's called Dragonfly. That's not her real name, that's just a sort of an alias or like a nickname or something. But her name is Dragonfly. Basically, she's a mad scientist / engineer kind of girl who was fucking up with a lot of experiment, and then suddenly it blew up in her face and it mutated her. I guess, I don't know if these kind of experiments actually exist, but it ended up giving her horns and some scales on her shoulder and stuff, and you know, she kind of looks like a dragonfly now, so they call her Dragonfly. And I really liked her design. I was inspired by a picture that I saw on Pinterest, so I took a few stuff from there and I added a lot of stuff from my own head, and I ended up with this. Of course, again, I love prosthetics. I love adding a lot of steampunk stuff onto my characters, and this is her little sidekick. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, this is her little sidekick, the Dragonfly. More alien stuff. This is Vexman. He's Canis's childhood friend. He's a, you know, if Canis is the brawl, then definitely Vexman is the brains, and he's a very dangerous criminal because he is always one step ahead of the space unit and stuff. He is a very, you know, intelligent sort of criminal, but also a very high, you know, classy one at that. And I tried many classy costumes or fancy costumes with him, and it actually worked. He looks great in all of them. Another superhero oak, but this time it's a bull. And I really like the design on this one. I can't remember what his name was. I really can't remember. But I know that the Kwame or something, this is complicated, but long story short, the Kwame is like a magical sort of being that gives you the superpower. So his Kwame is called Tough, and he has the bull power or something. Ink stuff about Dobrik. Again, when he was a little child, he liked the screams a lot. Him and Dobrik. He wasn't really, I like the idea that Dobrik wasn't afraid of anything even as a kid. So he would like grab a beetle or grab, go very close to a bee or something. That's my definition of fearless. If you go near a bee and you do not freak out, that this is my definition of fearless. And here I was working on dragonfly with the expressions. I really love those first two. They're very expressive. But this one is sort of like meh. It's like every other face I draw. And I remember that I was suffering with the faces a lot because every face I drew was kind of similar to the other one. So I had to do something in order to make it a variant faces. More comics, more doodles. This is again the bull superhero. This is dragonfly. More doodles. I don't remember what that was, but I think it's another Skyrim character who's like a thief sort of guy, and like next to him is Canis for some reason. Again, Zack Storm in the future. A lot of people liked it again, so I thought, hey, why not, draw more of it. And then here's a semi-realistic dragonfly for your daily needs. Semi-realistic dragonfly. I think the signature smile, this one right here, it gets me. This is very beautiful because I don't know, it suits her. This little gap between her teeth, I think, suits her a lot. And I really, really like it when the characters have like big gloves. It sort of gives them power to their look or something. It makes them look more powerful. More doggies. Popper. I love doggies. More dogs. Evangeline. Some more dogs. Okay, here's where things get interesting, I think. Yes, here's where things get interesting. I found a tutorial online on how to make your, a tutorial about faces, in other words. So I tried it with Dobrik, and look how he changed. He changed a lot. Like, I gave him thick eyebrows, big nose, very rough edged face that gives you the feel that he's a very temperamental sort of character, that he's a warrior kind of guy, very rough, scruffy. He's kind of bald, but I wouldn't say he's bald. It's kind of like thinning in the hair maybe. And the stem, as usual, inspired by my favorite Pokemon, is always there. Of course, there's a scar around his eye, which is why he wears the eye patch. And then, yeah, I think big teeth, big ears, that added a lot of details, and I think you can tell his personality immediately by looking at him, which is why I liked it. He's carrying his brother's corpse. In the story, his brother, he's from a legion and his brother is from a rebellion, and they have to fight against one another, and eventually the brother dies when he realizes that he has to fight next to his brother and not be against him. Yada yada, long story short. He loses his brother. Shoot. And yeah, very rough. I really like this one. It's very expressive. Again, playing more with the faces, I think this one's amazing. Like, this is when I started drawing faces very well. After that, more Dobrik. Also, there's, if you can hear my sister screaming in the background, that's my sister screaming, of course, as usual. But this is Athena. She is, let's say, the brain in the Legion. If Dobrik is the leader of the soldiers, then Athena is the brains, right? But yeah, the story was, I think the story was really amazing, but it went on hold. The story was that Dobrik is this leader of an army, like a military sort of guy, but he was the leader of them all. And he's that sort of guy who has a lot of experience in battle and uses his muscles more than his brain. So when Athena got recruited, everybody started to make fun of her because she's smart and she's very weak physically. She's short. She doesn't have a good muscle bulk or something. So a lot of people started picking on her or something like, oh, you wouldn't last 2 days out in the army. You'll get immediately killed, yada yada. But she proved them wrong by using her brains and developing better weapons, developing better battle strategies and stuff. And I really like the brain and brawl kind of duo, so I always draw her with Dobrik. So in here, she's scolding him. She says, how do you even think with that head of yours? And he's like, I don't. And that's the thing. That's my thing. I don't think. This is also one of my favorite sketches because in here, Athena, I always like to give a character some signature look to them. Like whenever you see them, you go, oh, this is Athena. And in Athena's case, it's this strand of hair that goes out, and the goggles, of course. So you can see she's very short, very fragile, but she has to get a sword, she has to train. So this is Dobrik trying to help her to pick a suitable weapon. And then here's another sketch of her holding that weapon. I love this sketch. I love Athena so much. I think I need to draw her more sometimes. Here's me now practicing on Evangeline. I think this face suits her a lot. Oh, Pooper. That's actually really cute. So yeah, there's Evangeline. I wanted to give her a rounder face, or not round. I think I used a square sort of face to give Evangeline, because I don't know, I feel like if a character is a warrior or some sort of a rough or a tough sort of person, and then I give them a sharp angled face. But if the character is soft and fragile and stuff, much like Athena, I give them like a circular sort of face, more smooshy and round and stuff. Again, the signature thing about Evangeline are her big front teeth. So if she smiles, her teeth would basically look like this, like rabbit teeth. Her central incisors are actually pretty big. I think that's actually very attractive in people. I don't know. If they're not too big, like generally big front teeth, they're pretty attractive to me. Then I use the same thing with Canis. And in here, again, I wanted to give you the thought process that went through my head as I was drawing this. Canis, again, is a type of guy, he's a pirate. He's seen a lot of shit, and he is, again, a muscle sort of guy. Why are all my characters the same? It's either brain or brawls. There's no in between. But anyway, again, but he's more hot-headed than Dobrik. Anyway, he is not much for brains. Like, yeah, he's been a pirate. He's been able to navigate his way through the universe a couple of times, but he mostly uses violence, and he doesn't really think before he acts. So this is why I wanted to give him a smaller head and a bigger jaw to indicate that he, I think barks a lot, or like talks a lot, talks shit, throws insults, very potty-mouthed, but he doesn't use his head a lot. So that's what I wanted to indicate by giving him an X-shaped sort of head with a smaller head. But I think that suited him. He kind of looks great to me here. But yeah, I think that's everything. Love neck muscles. Love them so much. What more? Oh, this is my demon character. I did not work on him much, and you cannot see the sketch very well, but this is a character from a very old story. Her name is Terra, and she's basically the princess of the kingdom of Earth. I really like her design because, well, I think the hair gives a lot about her personality because it's very messy and it's everywhere, and that's basically her. She's very laid back, she's very relaxed. You'd think that Earth people are down to earth and mystic and elegant and, very spiritual, but no, not Terra. She's the opposite of that. She's very fun to be around with. She gives you a seduction face sort of thing. Let's see. More about my demon character. Okay, this one's clear, so I might as well explain what he's all about. Basically, he's there's an idea that the whole prompt around which his story revolves is that when people die, they either become angels or demons, depending on the sins that they've done or if they've done good deeds or not. So basically, when he died, he became a demon, but he is insisting that no, there's something wrong. I did not do anything wrong in my life, and I'm not supposed to be a demon. So I am not a demon. He's not convinced that he's a demon yet, but I really like his design. Basically, demons then get attached to human mortals in order to drag them into being, sinning and becoming demons in the afterlife. So he gets assigned to a mortal, and this collar supposedly attaches him to his human. I was gonna draw the human, but I did not have enough time. More Canis, I was trying to give him a particular prosthetic design, but I don't think it worked. I don't know. This is him again. This is Terra. I love this look for Terra. It's amazing. Oh, this is notes. And this is Evangeline and Eldir. This is when I started working on the animation about Eldir and Evangeline and how they met and stuff. Basically, Eldir could not use his legs because he had underdeveloped legs, and supposedly he was not going to live for long, but then Evangeline worked with her friends, started to help get him proper nutrition, help him train and stuff, and eventually he started to walk. Now this is Canis and Melania. This idea is basically that they go to Atlantis. Atlantis did not sink into the ocean. My friend and I did the whole brainstorming, saying that instead Atlantis was lifted up into space, and this is why people do not find it on Earth or in the ocean. So this is where they go to Atlantis over there. And this is again another attempt for a watercolor. Oh man, I've been filming for 25 minutes, that's a lot. But yeah, this is another attempt for watercolor. I think I nailed it, but then I left, you can tell that I left these spaces, and now the entire thing looks weird. But I was still a beginner. This was basically Evangeline on one of her many travels. I love the idea of floating islands, pieces of islands just floating up in the air. That's my thing. I love it so much. So I drew it. And Evangeline is from the kingdom, I think this kingdom right here. This is like another kingdom, and she's from there. But anyway, oh boy, more stuff on the demon soda dude. I don't know what that is. I was trying to draw werewolves, I think, but I failed. This is me after watching a lot of conspiracy theories, and I felt that my life was threatened. And this, oh yeah, this I have to show you. This is another Evangeline. This is her new design. This is when I came up with Evangeline's new design right here. So this was basically it. And this, I drew her, this is supposedly Lara Croft inspired. So I came home from watching Lara Croft movie, Tomb Raider, and I drew Evangeline in her. But okay. More Evangeline stuff. God bless. I love her. I thought, why not try to draw realistic? That was my goal, and this is my favorite. Evangeline looks so good in black and white, and this is why I love to draw in black and white. Coffee. But yeah. Also, Kung Fu Panda. I was watching Kung Fu Panda 2 when I drew this. More Dobrik, and this is yet another Skyrim character of mine. Thing is, whenever I get bored, I always have to start over again with a new character. But this is also Dobrik. This is Dobrik with a Doberman. And this is also a comic inspired from How to Train Your Dragon 2. When Hiccup and Toothless in that scene that goes, we map the world. So this is basically kind of like it, except that it's about Evangeline and Eldir finding another sort of a floating island. But yeah, I think that's that. I think it took up the whole page right here. But this is very cute, He pins her down, and then like they start to play with one another. He starts like to peck at her or something. But that's really cute. Okay, I think that's it for this sketchbook. It's been 25 minutes, so that's a lot of footage. Tell me if you want more of these stuff, because I got a lot of more sketchbooks. I was gonna do this sketchbook as well. This is the most recent sketchbook, but then I thought that it would be quite too much for a single video. So if you guys want more sketchbook tours, go ahead, just message me. And my sister is calling, but I better hurry up. And god damn it. Yeah, so just send me a message, and if you have any sort of questions about any of my oaks or any about the stories that I presented, then go ahead and message me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.